Well, the holiday season is full of busy schedules, parties, shopping, travel, but for many people, the most wonderful time of the year can actually be quite debilitating due to suffering from headaches and migraines. So here to talk about her own experience living with migraines and navigating the holiday season, I'm joined by lifestyle expert Angie Campanelli. Angie, welcome.
Well, I'm so glad to be here, and I don't have a headache.
Oh,
that's the exciting part.
It's a great start to the day.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I think maybe from the book of obvious, but you're saying we need to stick to our regular eating schedules. Why is that so important?
Well, for a migrainer, skipping meals, having the blood sugars dipping and then rising really fast, it's basically the number one thing that I find for me causes a headache. So I find during the holiday season, if you're looking for parking, you're in the malls, you're going to parties, you're often eating sometimes later or skipping meals. So I always keep some healthy options and things that aren't going to increase the blood sugar too much or have you reaching for fast food.
For the bad stuff. Okay, so let's get into the foods, because when you talk about parties and you talk about food, you say, listen, people, there are triggers that are going to perhaps bring on a headache or even worse yet, a migraine. So what are the triggers and what should you be reaching for instead?
Well, the holiday season is basically a hotbed for everything headache and migraine because there's a lot of artificial color, artificial flavor, processed foods, the sweets. Now, I'm not saying stay away from it altogether, but if you...
Like right now?
She's been eating it the whole time. I'm like, well, if you were a migrainer, you would not be eating this. But the nitrates and the ingredients in these foods are just known to cause headaches in a lot of people. Not everybody's are the same. So if you are faced with a party, try to avoid old cheeses, try to avoid the processed meats, the candies, obviously, and look for foods that just look healthier. And it's not always fun, so for me, I always eat before I go.
Eat before you go.
Unless it's a meal, but if I know there's just gonna be past snacks, this to me, it's like straight
it's a trigger.
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about the drinks.
Yes.
I mean, there's the beverages.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's the obvious ones.
Right.
So tell us what to do and not do when it comes to the beverage department.
I mean, it is a little obvious in the sense that people who don't even get migraines often get hangovers and headaches from alcohol, especially wine. It has the tannins, it has the histamines. But over the holidays, people are like, I just want a break. I want to enjoy my wine. So if you do want to have a glass of wine, I recommend a mild antihistamine and then drinking 8
Really?
Yes. Because the histamines in there, when they're released in your body, that's what can cause a headache or a migraine. If you take a mild antihistamine and drink enough water, you should be able to enjoy 1 or 2 glasses of wine and not have that headache hangover.
Wow.
And the water, obviously, for dehydration, but there's sugars, everything that's in there. If you do suffer from headache and migraine the way I do, even smelling it, it just brings it on, like I know. And obviously reaching for different choices, like another sparkling beverage. But one thing a lot of people don't think about is caffeine. So caffeine for some people in a small dose can make your head feel better. But during the day over the holidays, we're often consuming way more.
Too much.
We're having coffees at parties, we're having a tea, we're having hot chocolate.
Right.
We're having the chocolate and the sweets. And all of that is like caffeine, 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 which can actually the next day make you feel terrible.
Bring it on, okay.
Yeah, so
here's the thing that people like to really cut corners on over the holidays, or most times of their lives: sleep.
It's the first thing we're like, we don't need it.
Okay, so help us get a better sleep.
Well, I mean, the holiday schedule is you're going to be staying out late. You're not going to get as much sleep. I just recommend if you suffer from headache like I do, to give yourself that routine. So even if you are coming home at 1 in the morning, you're triggering yourself. It's time to rest. Okay. So I do like lavender room sprays, obviously a sleep mask, just a relaxing sort of routine. Yes, spray it. It's beautiful. Going in.
I'm not taking a nap now. Whoops.
You can even just spray it on your pillow, but it's simple things to cue. If you're used to going to bed at 10, how does that smell? Right?
Amazing.
She's going to fall asleep in the middle of the segment.
Take over, Angie. Just take over.
If you're used to falling asleep at a certain hour and you are going to bed later, though, this is a really great way, like you do with your child, to cue this is bedtime.
Structure.
And you have to do it for yourself.
We don't have much time, but I want to quickly get in exercise because I think, again, we like to let that go. But why is that important when it comes to managing a headache?
It's actually kind of the opposite. If you are suffering from headache over the holidays, I would recommend light exercise or none because it can actually make your head pound. Yes. I've just gotten over a migraine and then gone to the gym and had an intense kickboxing workout, and it comes back right in the middle of it.
Wow.
Goodbye.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. These are great tips and a great reminder, and I hope for a migraine-free holiday season for you. For everybody, really. Thank you so much.
It's so good to see you.
Nice to see you as well.